Hello guys, and welcome to episode 8 of Geekamania. I am Ben, this guy over here is...
Mark. Hey guys.
And as usual we're just going to be talking about geeky crap, which, considering a fairly minor film just came out, we might as well talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, nothing big, nothing important.
It's very important, mate. It's probably the biggest film of the year.
No. But yeah, it's that fella, right there.
Yep. Batman. It's Batman. The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
I'm doing my Batman voice. I thought I'd do it for the people. I know. I'll do it for the people with my Batman voice. Sorry, mate. Sorry, I had to do that one impression. No more.
The latest in Christopher Nolan's trilogy.
Yes.
And possibly the last if he has his way with it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I guess we are going to be doing fairly spoilery things. So if you just want to do give your quick opinion on the film without spoiling anything to the guys before we put a spoiler warning.
Honestly, I think it's a fantastic film, and if you like comic book movies and just movies in general, then you should definitely see it because it is fantastic. The acting's really good, the action scenes are really good, the story's really good, and if you like Christopher Nolan, then you'll love this film.
Yeah, I've got to say I agree with pretty much most of those things. It's still not as good as Dark Knight in my book, but it's still a good film, and you should definitely watch it if you have anything at all interest in Batman or the previous ones. It's still a good film. It's just I wish it could have been better.
And I believe it as well that with Batman, it's you know how you have films as in the trilogy, you have Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. That is definitely part of that trilogy. You now have Batman.
Yeah, but now got the complete story arc. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and it's good because how most third films is just shit. At least with Batman, it's actually as good as the other two.
Yeah. So just go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Go watch Batman before you watch this video. Otherwise, we are just going to ruin lots of important crap for you. So yeah, just turn this video off. Just go, leave,
or
go away.
No, don't tell them to leave. Tell them to skip. We can put an annotation in the video to them to skip it. We have spoilers on the screen, so then we're going to mention the spoilers, so then you can skip it on the spoiler section to our top 5. So then you can still watch the video, but yeah, not because otherwise, yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yes, because we don't want to lose views.
I hate you guys.
Doesn't really. He loves you, really, guys. We need you guys. We need you.
So yeah, spoilers from here on out. So right, let's get into the nitty gritty of the film.
Okay.
So yeah, personally, my rating, I'm just gonna give it from straight away. It's about 3.5 to 4 stars. We're not quite solidified on which one it is.
5 for me, definitely 5.
I just can't see it as a better film than Dark Knight at all. I can't see it up there. Because the things that, there's a few things I don't like. It's still a really good film. Not just before, any of you start thinking that I hate this film, I'm going to get into a lot of its problems, but don't get me wrong, I still really like the film. It's still a good film. But just the way I think, I just overanalyze things. So I'm going to overanalyze the hell out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, host of problems. I mean, the big problem I have with it is the story arc. So we have Bruce Wayne, gone out of the game for 8 years, gets back into it because of Catwoman. So we have this whole story arc of him finding his legs as Batman again, making rookie mistakes, getting half of Gotham's police force on him and having to botch an escape out of nowhere. And, eventually getting back into the Batman game and tracking down Bane, and you have this huge climactic fight with Bane, and then Bane breaks Batman's back and you're back to square one again. It's like you spend all that time building Bruce Wayne back into Batman, and then you just reset it back to zero again, and then you do the same again.
Yeah, but the same with him doing it though, it's how the film is, it's him rising from being half dead, and it's him finding his feet again and being like, it's not all to do with the brain, it's not all to do with the brawn, it's to do with the brain, and how it's his soul and his purpose that is the thing that helps him. That's why he went there, because otherwise, it's to help him find himself again.
No, I understand why they do that in the context of this story. I'm just saying that they should have structured the story better in the, that breaking of his back, that should have been a significant event. But it shouldn't have been such a hard reset on Batman and taking him out for that long and having to build up all of this again and having him to reset his back, and this is one of those things where, like, they did it earlier in the movie, where it's just like, Mr. Wayne, your cartilage, yeah, you kind of got none anymore. So let's just strap this on. You know, I feel like it would have been better served if they'd done something fairly similar with the broken back.
Yeah, but the thing of that though, he mentioned earlier, I need to go to a hospital where Gordon was, so that's why he was there at the hospital. And then if you notice, he went down to see Gordon because he just used it as an appointment to see the doctor, so he can see Gordon.
Oh no, he still wanted to just see what was actually going on, but still, yeah. But I just feel like the story structure could have been better, and as a result of this like weird curved arc, the pacing of the film's a bit slow. It feels like a long film because you've got this whole story arc, and then you've got another whole story arc, and both of these feel like two films that have been crammed into one. So it feels longer than it should have done.
I felt like it was perfect. The timing was perfect. I didn't even notice the time at all. I thought the time went really quickly.
I mean, one of the main rules of filmmaking I find Nolan doesn't do in this one is he does a lot of telling instead of showing. Because we've got all this like huge like roaming backstory of Bane and all this like getting back into the game.
Most
like,
of
we've
Nolan
already
films,
done most of this.
Even in the Dark Knight, he was more talking than it was like pictures worth 1,000
No,
words.
in Dark Knight, a lot of it was show. I mean, like a lot of like the aspects of the Joker's characteristics were shown. Just like he is a capable fighter just from that magic trick. He is a maniacal man who just wants to have fun. He doesn't care about money. You have that very iconic image of him just lighting a mountain of money on fire. And that springboards onto the next point, which is I don't really like Bane too much as a main villain.
Really?
No, I mean, I've had this problem with Bane since the comics and the cartoon and everything he's been in. Bane is a vehicle for breaking Batman's physically.
Yeah.
He's not, but I don't find that compelling. Because with Joker, you have a far more cerebral villain who gets in Batman's head and really knows
the
how
thing
to...
with the Joker, though, they're so yin and yang, they're so like intertwined with each other that they're the two. Joker is Batman's main villain. With Bane, Bane is still it's the same with the Penguin. Penguin is never as as like
Penguin's
Joker
more
is.
interesting because Penguin is like Batman can just beat on Penguin. Penguin knows this, so Penguin adapts to that, and as a result, like lures Batman into traps and tricks him and deceives him with concealed.
Yeah, but at the
weaponry.
same time, though, with Bane breaking Batman's back, you also got to think about him sending him to Hell on Earth. That will also cause him psychological damage because he knows in the back of his mind, I can't beat this guy. He just broke my back. And in the comic books, Batman was a recluse for 3 months in his room, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, but again, it's like the prison. Like you don't really feel Bane's presence because it's not Bane doing that to Batman. Bane's just like done the classic villain thing. Is like, I'm just going to leave him here and assume he's doomed. It's just a classic villain cliche. And there were moments of Bane being really interesting and really quite amusing, like his whole spiels in front of big crowds when he's taking over Gotham. Those were pretty entertaining.
Which one? The one where he's in...
Well, like the one in the football arena,
yeah, that was
and like
awesome.
the one when he's standing on one of Bruce Wayne's cars in front of the prison.
Oh, one of the tumblers.
Yeah. And it was like moments like that, like make him feel like a more compelling villain, and just like in his like the first fight with Batman. It's just like he has moments where he's quite entertaining, and it's just like theatricality and deception are very powerful tools to the uninitiated. But we are initiated. It's just like we needed more moments like that. I feel, because like when Bane was doing like that, I was just like, yeah, come on, let's get into this. This is getting interesting now. But it's just like, and then Bane just like chucks him in the prison and doesn't really do anything. I needed more Batman because we had a lot of Bruce Wayne being beaten down, which, is good for a story, but in large amounts just gets a bit dull. This is my problem with the film. I still really like it. It's just, it's frustrating for me because I feel like it could, if Nolan just like tightened the script a bit more and focused it more around the villain, a central villain, instead of having all these moving parts. Like we've got Jason Gordon-Levitt's character and Gordon and Catwoman and Bane and Ra's al Ghul's daughter, I've forgotten their name temporarily.
Oh, Talia.
Talia. And it's like we have all of these moving elements, and it's just like we have no focus, really, because we've got a lot of focus on Jason Gordon-Levitt, and we've got a lot of focus on Bruce Wayne, and we've got a lot of focus on Bane, but then the focus shifts onto Talia, and it's just like, we don't have a central theme. I mean, one of the strengths of Dark Knight was you had Batman, Joker, and then you have Harvey Dent as the chess piece they're playing around, and you had that focus of the
We've also got to
dichotomy
say
there.
though, even in Begins there wasn't much of a focus. You had the
And
whole League of Shadows, so the loads of League of Shadows thing at the beginning, and then you had Batman, and then at the end you had him against League of Shadows. It didn't really have a central.
And again,
sort of
I didn't like Begins as much because again, it's like it lacks that focus. It's more like I forgive it more because it's an origin story. You need to build Bruce Wayne. You need to build Batman. But we have already built Bruce Wayne. We have already built Batman. This is one of the strengths of the Avengers. All of the backstory already done. You guys all know who these is. You know who Iron Man is. You know who Thor is. You know who Captain America is. You know all these guys. You know what they're about. So let's just get them in a situation and have fun with it. This is what I wanted from Dark Knight Rises, because we already have those things. We already have those elements. Throw in Catwoman, throw in Bane, establish them. But Bruce Wayne, we know Bruce Wayne. We know what he's like. We know how he struggles with these situations. And we know Batman. And we love Batman and we love Bruce Wayne, so throw some.
But they want to kind of show more of his emotional side of like how being Batman was like with the whole thing of Harvey Dent. That's why he was recruited for 8 years, because he didn't feel like he could be Batman anymore.
Yeah,
and in a way as well, not being Batman anymore, it basically Batman is the real person, while Bruce Wayne is his mask.
Yeah, and this is where it kind of fails in the other perspective for me, because where we failed is it being like a normal superhero film where it's all fun and going up against the villain. We've also kind of failed at it being about like the psychology of Bruce Wayne and Batman, because we don't really get to like the nitty gritty of like how Bruce Wayne and Batman interact as a whole. Because I mean, he teases at things. He teases at like making the whole like 99% 1% thing a big thing, and like having the whole like, yes, people of Gotham, retake your city, and then it's just like that kind of goes nowhere. And we have this whole thing of like Catwoman just like, yeah, let's break these barriers down and like the social walls, and yet actually that's not as fun as she thought it was. We don't really explore that too much. We just have a few shots of her just looking a bit dismayed at the whole situation. And then we have like the dichotomy of Bruce Wayne and Batman, and just like how he can't exist without being Batman, and yet that tears him apart. And we only have a few scenes of that. We just have that one main scene with him talking to Alfred on the staircase, and then we don't really explore more of that.
Maybe with the whole thing being in prison, it was maybe him was being like, I know I can never always be Batman, and maybe it was him learning that Batman isn't as important as it is, just needs to do it one more time and then just give up it. Maybe give up the mantle like
even then, it's
at the end
like,
to Robin.
We get hints of it. We get
Nightwing.
We get like spatterings of it. Like we get like how like Bruce Wayne feels like Gotham is his and he needs to protect it. But we only get smatterings of that. We only get like smatterings of that when he's in jail and how he's like, I've got to get back to my city. And it's just like, it's annoying to me because it lacked focus. We had too many elements, too many themes, and we didn't really focus on anything.
Well, that's the thing that usually happens sometimes when you have a lot of villains in it. I think
I know.
Spider-Man 3, that had a lot of different things, and other films like there's different villains. The thing that only worked with Avengers, it was only one main villain. If it was more villains, that would probably been scattered around the place as well.
That's why I prefer Avengers, because we had singular focus. We had a singular focus. It was like, right, we've got all these elements. Get the team together. Get them to fight Loki and his army. That's that. That's what you want. That's what the strength of the Avengers was, because it was tying all of these really disparate elements. You know, this is a tough task. You've got all these very strong characters, very individual, very like conflicting personalities, and you have to get them all into one place, make them cohesive, and then make them fight. But
also, you've got to think about well with Batman. It's the last of the trilogy, and they also have to, in a way, it's easy for them because everyone knows all these people. I've mentioned from the previous films with Batman. He has to establish who Bane is, who Catwoman is, who Jason Gordon-Levitt is. Like, if they were if Heath Ledger didn't die, I obviously believe the third film would have been a more story to do with the Joker. And that's why I had to completely change it.
That's why I despair over like how much focus is put on Bruce Wayne, because we have so many other more interesting characters we could be spending all this focus on. And then we have all of this
but
development.
some people might like the whole sort of realistic sort of turmoil of Bruce Wayne, because it kind of shows us that he's a human, and that's why people like Batman so much, because he can be one of us, and
Yeah.
that's why people love him so much.
I'm not saying I don't like it, because like I really liked that scene in the prison where it's just like it is just him like focusing. It's just like, I'm angry now. I'm gonna get the hell out of here, and that doesn't work. And then he realizes, no, I just need to relax. I just need to go for this because I need to do this. And that whole like triumphant leap and just like the building soundtrack that goes with it. I mean, it's a really, really well done scene. I am not criticizing the filmmaking in this. The filmmaking in this is beautiful.
It is very beautiful.
Just,
I love the bit with the on the plane where you have his henchmen
that's
with
a
it, and the
beautiful
music.
action scene, and it's a great way of establishing Bane and throwing him at the audience. It's just, I really, really wish they tightened the script a bit more and focused it. I mean, even if, like, Catwoman, I wish they'd put some more focus on her, because it's just like, she's an interesting character, but in the script, she doesn't really have much purpose other than just to further the plot along. She's just a cipher for moving elements into the right place.
But she does have quite a good plot.
Anna Hathaway steals the show. She is brilliant in this. But it's just, I wish the character had more to do. And yeah, I mean, it's a frustrating film for me. It's not a bad film like Spider-Man was, but it's definitely just, I wish they just spent longer on it. That's what I want, because I feel like they could have.
Longer as in could have been a longer movie, or longer
as in if they'd just spent a bit longer on like looking at the film and tightening the script and focusing it and honing it and really like turning this diamond into a cut gem instead of this rough, raw, very good film, but that just could have been refined into a fine gem. That's my problem with the film, and that's why I feel like I hate it more than I should.
Maybe the reason you probably hate it more because it's been so hyped up.
Yeah, I mean,
sort of thing.
I purposely tried to curb my enthusiasm for this film because I just knew that it was probably going to disappoint me after Dark Knight, because I was expecting the moon. And, you know, all I got was a nice view of the sky. It's a very pretty sky, but I wanted a moon. Why didn't you give me the moon?
But you got to say that some of the fight scenes were quite interesting. I know it might have been just fists and punches, but it's to show you just how like brawn and strong Bane is compared to Batman, because that's what. And I like the fact they kind of did a homage to the comics. I mean, when I saw my brothers.
Oh yeah, when he does that backbreaker, I practically cheered.
I did as well. I was like, oh my god, you just did it, because that's what he's known for, and that's kind of like, in a way, that's why it's called Rise, is because it's about him rising from the depths of the dead, the depths of just despair, the depths of just like hell, and then rising up to be Batman again. That's why if you notice when he had the building with the bat symbol, it's showing the people Gotham, I'm back here. We're gonna rise with the whole. I thought one of the cool scenes was with the police officers running against all of Ben's henchmen. And just see that massive fight. I felt it was quite cool, kind of showing that actually democracy and law and everything else will rise against tyranny and not really communism, but the new thing of the word, tyranny and occupation. Which I thought was quite. It's kind of, you know, has a sort of political sort of stance to it. Yeah. Like how in the Dark Knight we can't be afraid of terrorists. Well, in this one you can't be afraid of. You have to stand up for your country.
Yeah, again, it's just like these themes are all hinted at. It never really explored to the full extent that I feel like they could have. But it's good that he's hinting at all these things because it does make you think. It's just I wish he could have like brought out a bit more of it and just extracted more from it. But as I said, it's a good film still, and I would definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah, really, really watch. If you're a fan of Batman, probably watch. If you like the other two films, really enjoy it. There's two films you never watch. Never watch Batman and Robin. They're rubbish, and Forever. They're rubbish.
That film's alright.
Really?
Again, Dark Knight Rises is definitely better than Batman and Robin. But the fun thing about Batman and Robin is just like it's camp and it knows it.
Yeah.
And it's just like. It's good for that kind of just stupid fun element of it. You should, if you go into that film thinking you're getting a serious Batman film, you are looking in completely the wrong place. Because it's just funny, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger delivering incredibly stupid one-liners as Mr. Freeze. It's just like, you need to cool off. It's just little funny moments like that.
But you've also got to say as well that the person who does apparently they're doing a reboot of Batman, whoever does Batman next is going to have a lot.
Oh, they have a hell of a mountain to climb. I do not envy anyone who does that.
I actually started to like Batman's voice now. Not Bane. I like Bane's voice. It was quite cool.
I never had a problem with Batman's voice. I can understand why people do, but I don't mind it.
I'm actually starting to quite like it now. I'm starting to get used to it now.
I can understand why he's disguising his voice though, because it's just like, you know, it's another one of those like typical DC things where it's just like, oh yeah, Green Lantern's like masked, it just goes around here, that disguises his whole identity.
Superman.
Ken Clark doing this, that disguises that.
And having a weird quiff.
Bruce Wayne talking to his closest friends in Bruce Wayne's voice, that's disguising it. Yeah, it's just stupid little DC things like that don't make sense. But you know, it's just one of those typical DC things. But as you know, I'm a Marvel fanboy. I don't take any of my criticisms about DC seriously.
I'm honestly a Marvel fanboy, but
you're not. You're just like a fan of Marvel. You're not like me, who is just like a die-hard Marvel fan and just eschews everything else because it's not Marvel.
I'm a Marvel die-hard fan. I just love Batman.
You're just not as biased.
One of my favourite comic characters of all time. It's Ninja Turtles, Batman, Spider-Man, and my 3 or 7 comic characters. I've always loved Batman.
I've always really liked Batman as a character because he's the most Marvel of the DC heroes. Because unlike most Marvel heroes, he has very obvious human flaws. Yeah. He is very grounded in reality.
And it shows in a way with what happened to his parents, how using it to help other people out is, you know, kind of had the whole like with Spider-Man where his uncle got killed off and that sort of
thing. It's
a
very kind of Marvel themed thing, yeah. But yeah, it's...
And he's the most human-like of every single superhero that there is, because he's a human.
He's not like Superman, who's just he's overpowered, basically. Like, oh yeah, by the way, just going to fly around the world backwards, guys.
Or like Spider-Man has superpowers as well, but, you know, he uses... That's the last thing about Batman the most. He uses his brain rather than his brawn.
Yeah,
because he's known as the detective.
Yeah. And this is like another thing that Marvel heroes should have, that normally have, is they all have like limits, like clearly defined. Anyway, I think that's enough me berating Batman and Mark defending Batman. Let's move on to a more light-hearted topic then, shall we? So, yeah, I guess you can put this annotation over. This is
Top 5 comic book villains.
Yep, since we're on the subject. Right, so...
We're going to do Batman villains, but we thought that'd be a bit too... Or Ben thought we'd be a bit too sort of, not generic, but, you know, a bit too...
Well, if we were doing just top 5 Batman villains, it would, you know, both of our number ones would be Joker.
Yeah,
just there'd be no doubt, because
and you got Mark Hamill as the Joker as well, which is even more awesome. So you know,
yeah,
and Heath Ledger.
So it wouldn't be so interesting. So we're diversifying a little, making it a bit more open. So shall you start or shall I?
You must start, Ben.
Okay, so my number 5, Loki, and you know, one of the main reasons I love Loki is that trying to put this into words. When Loki's defeated, he's never really defeated. This is one of the big things I love about Loki, is that he's constantly playing the long game, and it's just like no matter what Loki's doing, no matter how bad Loki's beaten, that's kind of all part of his plan. I mean, there's this recent theory that cropped up that my friend Nick told me about, and I really, really like it. Is that in the Avengers, Loki gets captured and sent back to Asgard, right?
Yeah.
That was all a ploy to get back into Asgard.
Yeah, because he wants to get back Thanos.
No, because he doesn't want to get back Thanos. He wants to get back into Odin's vault. You know, the big vault in Thor, where the big old ice chest is kept. He wants to get back in there, and he just wants to loot that place. And everyone else, including myself, is thinking that he's just going to loot that place and stroll along and find the magical Infinity Gauntlet, and just go, ha ha, infinite power, and Thanos is just going to be like, that's mine, bitch, give me that back. And it's just like, ooh, I really like that theory, because it's so very like Loki to just like go, oh no, guys, you've caught me. Okay, well, if you've got to send me back to my father and get him to slap me around, I guess that's what's going to happen. But yeah, I just love Loki for that, because he's always doing that. And at one point, he in a Avengers series, he actually breaks Captain America's shield.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things which is pretty much impossible to break, and he just like claims Odin's stuff and is like, "Oh, you're gonna throw that shield at me? Bam! It's dead. It's shattered. Screw you." Just love Loki, hugely. Except for that one time where he's a woman. Yeah, at one point in the comics, Loki becomes a woman. It's really complicated. I'm not going to get into it, but it's really weird.
Sounds very weird. My fifth person would be Bane.
Bane?
Bane just because of what he's mostly known for, really, breaking the bat. That's one of the things why I like him so much, because he's known for being the first person. Joker couldn't do it, Penguin couldn't do it, Poseidon couldn't do it, but he's the first person to ever break the bat and make him feel like, can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, as I've already said, I'm not a huge fan of Bane in the comics. Mainly because I feel like he's a bit of a one-note villain.
You kind of need a one-note villain, really, don't you? Because sometimes they kind of work.
He serves a good he serves a purpose.
I like the fact that even in
that one image of him like really, really aggressively with Batman like here on his knee is just like, that's a really iconic image. Right up there with like Captain America, head downtrodden with his shield there. It's right up there in the iconic images for me. But it's like I wouldn't put him like above, say, Riddler.
Really? I actually think he's a cooler person than Riddler, because Riddler's kind of a one-note. He just does riddles and is kind of a bit of a weird OCD
I love
sort of
Riddler
person.
because he's one of those guys that can end up like being quite camp and fun, but also quite dark and very like. The thing I love about Riddler
Batman games
is that the Riddler always wants Batman to win. He just like throws challenges at him. He's like, come on, beat this, come on, please beat this, capture me, come on, do it. He's weird, insane.
Yes, totally.
Yeah. Anything else?
Just the fact that I thought Tom Hardy did a fantastic version of Bane.
I do like that Bane, even though it's like nothing to do with the comic version.
Nah,
but
they did change
I do
the
like the
origins a
interpretation
bit.
of it. Yeah.
But then again, he's the only person whose the origins has changed quite a lot in the Batman films of Nolan.
But yeah, my number 4 would be Gideon Graves, who is the leader of the League of Seven Evil Ex-Boyfriends from Scott Pilgrim.
Ah, okay.
And in the films, Gideon doesn't have a lot to do. Films plural. in my dreams.
Yes, it is.
In the film, like he doesn't do a lot, like, but in the comics, like he is completely instrumental. He set up the whole League of Evil Exes, and he like, just threw all of these guys at Scott Pilgrim trying to like break him and Ramona up, and he's constantly in his head like making weird images, and it's quite sinister in a way, but at the same time he's quite funny because at the core of it he is just a very jealous, bitter man.
Yeah, cool.
And it's like there's this very weird, surreal moment at the end of the comics where he reveals that he has been like capturing women. Yeah, no, it's really weird. Like all of his 7 ex-girlfriends, he's been like freezing in cryo for like when they'll eventually all love him, and Ramona's the one that got away. So he's trying to catch back Ramona. It's really weird and psychotic, but at the same time, he's a funny guy. He's quite likeable, and that's one of the things I quite like about him, even though he is just an evil douchebag.
Yes.
But yeah, and he's marvellous in the films as just a generic villain. And it's just like very, very seething and very mocking of Scott, just like, oh, hey Scotty, baby, how you doing? Yeah. It's that kind of thing. I really like that because
that's cool.
He's not your traditional villain. That's one of the things I like about him.
My 4th would be Carnage.
Carnage, yeah.
Carnage is a cool character. What's his real name?
I can't remember. There's been many people that Carnage has hosted.
The main one,
he's
something Cassidy.
Yeah. Butch Cassidy? No, Butch Cassidy's like a wrestling hero or something.
Gladys Cassidy or something, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, I really like Carnage. He's a cool character, and just the fact that in the cartoon they actually kind of used him. I've always liked the symbiotes.
Yeah, he's like Venom, but
way
more psychotic.
Yes,
as if Venom could get any more psychotic.
Where we released in Venom, yes, he wants to kill Batman, but he wouldn't kill.
Wait, Venom wants to kill Batman now? Sweet.
Oh, it's Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man. Actually, they've actually fought it against each other. There's actually been comic books. Yeah, they used to in the olden days, but Marvel, and they had new people, they don't do it anymore. There's actually been a Spider-Man and Batman comic together.
What, and Venom fought Batman?
Yeah.
Really? That's kind of cool.
The Joker and Venom, I think, or I think it's either Carnage or Joker or Venom.
Oh, Joker was a Venom symbiote. That would be fun.
Not as just two separate, they're just...
Yeah, I know, but that would be terrifying.
That would be pretty terrifying. Who would you rather? I reckon Carnage would probably be better for him because they're both psychos.
Yeah, but Carnage. One of the things I don't like about Carnage is he is mindless. He is just a straight killer. But it's just like even though I don't like that about him, that makes him a far more severe threat for
Yeah.
Spider-Man, because like the one thing Spider-Man is not great at is taking on people who are just like complete remorseless killers.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's hardly any banter you can do with a guy who is just focused intently on just killing you. So it's Carnage is great for like darkening the tone of a Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's why I like it, because
yeah.
that's a tone he's completely different to all the other bad guys who fought Spider-Man.
Yeah, because most Spider-Man guys are just like, you know, there's a Rhino guy who's in a funny Rhino costume, haha, he's going to charge you, and then you just dodge out the way and he hits them all. But yeah, with Carnage, it's like, okay, things have just got serious. This guy's going to just kill people if I don't stop him.
Yep, he does many people. Doesn't he kill Gwen Stacy in one of the comics, doesn't he? In Ultimate or something?
I am not my knowledge of Spider-Man is not that comprehensive, unfortunately. I'm not omniscient. I'll leave that to Ziltoid.
I think he did in one. I think he did in maybe the Ultimate they did years ago, like 10 years ago. I think he killed off.
Yeah, it seems
Gwen
like
Stacy.
I'd be surprised if anyone gets that Ziltoid reference. One person will. I know that one.
What's that?
Ziltoid the Omniscient. Look it up.
I will do. Like I never got when you and Christian talking about this flying spaghetti monster that I found out about.
The Rastafarians who believe in the flying spaghetti monster as their deity. It's just a parody of religion that some people take seriously. It's great. So my third, Doctor Doom. Dr. Victor Von Doom himself. Now, a lot of the things I like about Doctor Doom are just like the less serious things about Doctor Doom. Because just like, I really like the funny lines he comes out with. Like there's this one brilliant line of Doctor Doom, it's just like, my one weakness, I surround myself with idiots. It's just like, it's so beautifully Doctor Doom.
Yes.
And I just absolutely love the way he's just like, he is a serious villain, but he's very just focused on one thing, and that is, well, actually two things, power and Richards.
And
just
Richards or bitches?
Richards, not bitches.
Richards.
Doom got plenty of bitches. He got the whole of Ladveria's bitches.
Did you say, I think you said Richards.
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 Dr. Reed Richards.
Oh, Richards. Oh,
yes.
okay. I think you said was it Riches or Rich?
No, Richards.
Ah, okay.
Doom got plenty of bitches. Doom got a whole country of bitches. It's another thing. It's like Doctor Doom is like the emperor of his own country. And he's taken over the world several times, got an infinite power several times, destroyed things.
And then gets defeated by Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and then gets defeated by a dude with rubber powers. It's just like, that's Doctor Doom's like incredible weakness, is that he's just so short-sighted, but he's so brilliant, and I love him for it. And it's just like, I can't get enough of Doctor Doom, and it's just like little traits like in Marvel vs. Capcom, his level 3, where he will just like summon like a canister from the floor which just traps you and electrocutes you. And whilst this is happening, Doom just like clicks his fingers, summons a hovering armchair and just goes like this. It's funny. You will die! And then the canister explodes. And it's just little bits of flair that I love about Doom. It's
That's
just that
cool.
he kills people with style, and it's just like he's in it for the fun of it and just for the power and the sheer rush of it.
That's cool. My third choice would be Venom. The main.
You having
proper
both of the symbiotes.
Yeah, I've always loved the symbiotes. Venom is probably my favourite Marvel villain. I think he's really cool. I just love the fact that he has the same powers as Spider-Man, and it's just, I don't know.
And it's just amped up, yeah.
Mm.
And it's just like
I don't know. I don't know why. I've always felt. I don't know. I've always liked Venom. I don't know why.
I mean, I really like Venom as well. Especially like recently, Venom has become like the symbiote has been captured, and they're using Flash Thompson is actually the current host of it. And they what they do is they temporarily put the symbiote suit on him for missions and send him for Black Ops missions and take out terrorists with him.
That's cool.
And he's just like, you've got this very weird dichotomy of it, because like Flash Thompson is basically James Bond with Spider-Man powers now, which is awesome enough as is.
That's cool.
But you have this weird dichotomy of the situation where if things go down wrongly in the mission and he ends up getting angry or hurt, he could like go and like proper Venom out, and the whole like slavered jaw comes out in the tongue, and like he proper goes psycho and just kills people.
The cool thing about Venom is that he's good as an anti-story hero, that he only wants to ever kill Spider-Man, but he would never kill anyone else. If you notice that. Spider-Man's the only person he would ever want to kill, but other people, he's like, would rather help them out.
Recently, Venom's become a lot more of a bigger threat, and he will just kill people mercilessly. He's becoming a lot more like Carnage recently. Yeah,
because in the original comic books he first appeared in, he was pretty darn scary. Because Spider-Man, after the Secret Wars and we got the suit, still had designed the suit, but he had to get rid of it because Venom scared the shit out of MJ. Venom is cool.
Venom's fun, especially like when he like joins the Dark Avengers under Norman Osborn's rule, which and it's just like the weird thing that Venom is on the actual side of the law, and there's this like really terrifying scene where like Norman Osborn sends the Dark Avengers after the X-Men, and Venom like is just stalking around, and Colossus is just like, something's not right, get out of here, girls, and Venom's just like, stop in the name of the law, and it's just like, okay, Venom's a policeman now, and he's just going to take on Colossus. Holy crap!
I like Venom as well because he's very much like, it's not me or him, it's us.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how it's just basically two people in one.
And
how it with the symbiote it helps because Eddie Brock's just hatred of Spider-Man then becomes Venom.
It becomes a part of Venom, yeah. It becomes ingrained in its personality.
Because the symbiote also hates Spider-Man because Spider-Man refused him and didn't want him anymore.
So yeah, my second one, and slightly surprising because it's only my number 2, is the Joker, of course. And I could just go on about how much I love the Joker. I mean,
Joker is awesome.
For me, like the most fun thing about the Joker is just that as much as Batman's rules say he can never kill anyone, the Joker will never kill Batman because, in the Joker's own words, you're just too much fun.
Yes,
you complete me.
Yes, and it's like without Batman, there's no punchline.
Yeah, and it's just like
they're very much yin and yang. They're very much like black and white.
The cycle the Joker creates is that Joker will always get out of Arkham Asylum and kill people and cause pain and suffering, and the Batman will always capture him and throw him in there, and the cycle will never complete until one kills the other. And one breaks the rules.
Like they said in the Killing Joke, Batman goes to see who he thinks is the Joker, saying, "This is it. We'll talk to you. Either you're going to kill me or I'm going to kill you. I just want to make sure we at least spoke about it. So if it ever happens, and at least we tried to sort it out, and it would never happen because it will come to that one day.
Yeah,
potentially it could.
And it's just that constant like endless cycle, and just like for me, like Batman should always fight Joker. It's just like. I love having other villains, but it's just like none of them can just compete with the Joker's insanity and just his will for fun and chaos.
There's been so many good people who play the Joker. You've had Jack Nicholson, for example, Mark Hamill, who everyone knows as Luke Skywalker, one decade's hero, the other decade's awesome villain, Heath Ledger. And I love the fact how with each of the Jokers, they're subtle with their differences, but each person brings their own thing to the Joker. Because that's the thing I like about Mark Hamill's Joker the best, because it includes a lot of the humour, but also the psycho person.
Mark Hamill is very good at tapping into that dark side of the Joker and just very suddenly going sinister with it.
Even though I think Heath Ledger's Joker is amazing, that's one of the things I missed about him. The more jokey side, I don't think he laughed as much as he should have done, because that's what the Joker's always known for, is his laugh. Like Mark Hamill has an awesome laugh as the Joker. And
just like one of my favourite things about Joker is just like one of his best facets is his relationship with Harley Quinn. Just like, it's a very strange relationship because the Joker's quite loving of Harley in a weird way, but at the same time he actually doesn't really care too much about her.
No, not at all.
And it's just like, he just uses her because she's fun to have around.
And she was created actually for the series, for the original cartoon, and then become so popular that she ended up being her own.
She ended up becoming like part of the true canon, and it's just like, I mean, I just love Harley Quinn as a character because she is just fanatically devoted to Mr. J. Mr. J. I can't do an accent.
Where he turned her insane from telling her different stories. Like, that's the thing about the joke. You never know his origin because each time he tells them... He's
always changing
the story. Like in the cartoon, he apparently said his dad used to beat him in the film. His, like, with the scars, his dad used to beat his mum up and then he got scars because his dad didn't like it. Then other times he did it to... make his wife smile. So, that's the thing, he always changes the...
It's another compelling facet of him, is that you never really know what the genesis of the Joker was. He just kind of always has been.
Yes.
So yeah, what was your number 2 then?
Shredder.
Shredder. See.
Shredder.
See, how did I know?
I know.
How did I know? Somehow
He's
you
cool
like
because the thing I love about the Shredder is, yes, he might have been a one-shot villain in the original comic books, but then because of the show and just because of how popular this comic book series is, he then became the main villain.
Yeah, he became the nemesis.
And it's like, he is cool because he's a Ninja Master. He is in the films, and yes, in the cartoon as well. He is basically the Ninja Turtles far superior, and that's why they have to join up all together to fight him, because otherwise, and that's when Splinter's the only one who could beat him properly, because he is so much more better than them all together, and it's like, he is the person that could easily beat them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, the most striking thing about Shredder was just, like, his visual design. So I remember quite vividly, like, when I first saw him, it's just like, we'd seen all these ninjas before, and it's just like, they're all just, like, typical Black Robe ninjas, and then all of a sudden, this guy comes out in a ninja mask, but bedecked in shining silver armour.
Yes, with the
adorned with spikes, and it's just like, when I saw it, I was like, okay, this guy means business. Holy crap, run!
And he's voiced by James Avery in the original series as well, Uncle Phil, who, as such, he's a really good voice actor.
Yeah, Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is Shredder.
Is a ninja master. Is a Japanese ninja master who is known for, in the comic books and other things, killing Hamato Yoshi.
I mean, I gotta admit, when you first told me those, like, 2 guys with the same voice, that kind of blew my mind a little. It was just like,
because
what?
in the comic books and I know he's right in the cartoon. He is an evil man.
Oh yeah, he's straight up murderer. He got exiled from his own ninja clan, didn't he? Oh no, they didn't exile him. They just got sent off to go. Yeah, go kill that guy we don't like. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just go start up my own ninja team to go help me kill him. That's cool.
Yeah, because that's what in the comic books, because Hamato Yoshi killed Rokusaki's brother, then Saki then ended up killing off Hamato Yoshi's wife and Hamato Yoshi. So yeah, he is, but he's cool. So he's a cool character. I like the fact with the cartoon, they added a bit of humour to him as well. He wasn't just the whole killer wanted to take over the world, wanted to kill the turtles. They actually added a bit of humour, which I thought was quite funny.
He had that classic like villain humour. It's like, you incompetent fool, that kind of thing.
You blast you turtles.
Yeah, that typical sort of like Saturday night cartoon.
Oh, you cretins! And there's this video on YouTube I've seen, the top A to Z of Shredder insults, and it's hilarious. You have every single insult he goes, "You mutant morons," and all this sort of thing. It's just, I love Shredder. Awesome character.
And my top villain would have to be the Master of Magnetism, Magneto. I mean, as I've already discussed before, like, I'm a big X-Men fan, and Magneto is the X-Men villain.
Yes.
Easily, every time. You've got to have Magneto, and it's just... I love Magneto because there's like so many... He has so many facets to him. I mean, he's been a terrorist leader, he's been an evil, manipulative mastermind, he's been an incompetent idiot at times, and more recently, he's become like a cornerstone of the actual X-Men team. He's a good guy now. And it's just
but then becomes bad.
No, he's still good at the moment.
Is he?
Yeah.
I know. I'm thinking of the films with the awesome that is Fassbender.
Yeah, and
also...
Fassbender did a brilliant Magneto, but then again, Fassbender could probably do a brilliant anything.
Yeah, and also some aspect we could just Magneto as well. Ian McKellen, fantastic as well.
Yeah, and it's just like the thing I absolutely love about Magneto is at his core, although he is evil, there's good to him.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like he is Charles Xavier's long time friend, and it's just like, whilst he is, his methods are uncompromising at his core, all he is trying to do is protect his own people.
Yeah, of course, because as what happened in World War II, his people were killed because he's a Jew, so he wants to make sure they all... He
doesn't want to see that happen again.
No.
And although that wasn't originally his origin, I now accept that as being Magneto's origin, because that's such a great analogue for how the mutant race is and how...
Because in a way, they are, like today's what Jews would have been during the World War II, because they're like seen as outcasts.
Well, the X-Men have always been like a... Oh god, I'm trying to work out the word here. Kind of like... I'm going to say analogue again, even though I can't think of the correct word I'm thinking of. But they've always been representative of repressed people.
Yeah, of course.
And just like... And one of the strengths of the X-Men have always been like their cultural diversity. and you have like X-Men from every corner and every walk of life you could think of, and Magneto is just another great representative of that, and how it's just like he is trying to protect his own minority, and whilst his methods are uncompromising,
he's
and
like
at its core
he's
evil.
like in a sense the Malcolm X. Well, because with Magneto, he's more like he doesn't care as if he has to use violence, he wants to get his point for you. Well, with Xavier, he just wants to use words and doesn't want to.
And this has kind of like been mirrored more recently in the comics, where Cyclops has become far more uncompromising in his methods, and it's just like you can slowly see like Cyclops turning into Magneto, and Wolverine slowly turning into Professor X, ironically.
Really?
Yeah, Wolverine's becoming a lot more nurturing. He's still uncompromising in the, if someone is going to come out as kids, you're going to get the claws.
Yeah, of
but
course.
it's just like, he is like far more just like leave the kids out of it.
Oh,
just
you
like,
mean the
the children? Wolverine started up Professor X's school for gifted kids again.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that shows I haven't read the comics version.
Whereas Cyclops has started off like his own little mutant island called Utopia.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I just love Magneto.
That's cool.
So, your number one?
My number one would be the Joker.
And yeah, we've talked quite at length about the Joker already.
Yes.
So,
and just he is an awesome character, probably one of the greatest comic heroes ever, and just shows just even today, after 71 years in general with Batman and everything else, just how popular he even still is, and how people are like, yes, have the Joker in it. So yeah.
So yeah, I think we've gone over time, or probably
quite a lot, yeah.
But yeah, nice big long episode for you guys. Hope you like it. As always, he has been Mark Sylvester,
and he's been Ben Upton.
And yeah, see you later, guys.
See you later, guys.
Thanks
Take
for
care.
watching.